So, I'm back on the thing, as they say, and we're going to start off not in China. Oh, by the way, I've realised last time Pakistan I highlighted in green was meant to be in not in the war. Sorry about that. Anyways, we start off with the CCR here, this is Zambia was pretty much shared between all these guys, and the CCR just straight up annex it. Well, don't straight up annex it, they've been planning it for a while, but the other guys haven't really put much thought into it, nor do they care enough. What's Angola going to do? South Africa have no claim to Zambia, and Mozambique are pretty just a puppet, the whole faction as well. So there you go, there's the CCR expanding again. And I was going to do this in chronological order when it happened, but later in the year, East Africa is also annexed into CCR, so effectively a puppet CCR because the CCR set it up. It's meant to happen later in the year, but I thought since I highlighted it, may as well do it now. Okay, so there you go. CCR is back to their former glory almost, well, half there. So he's control pretty much half of Africa. Why do I always do that? Okay. Also in Africa, so the purple guys up here, well, the purple guys, yeah, the North African alliance has been struggling a lot economically, highlighted with several unifications happening. So essentially, ever since the war, with no international trade or intervention, etc., all their economies have been collapsing. Tunisia just failed, and they joined back up with Libya, and Morocco can keep the resistance down in well, Western Sahara, which now revolts, and they start sending some. It's not really a civil war; it's just straight up new government is put into place. Okay, great. What was I saying? New government put into place, right? Lots of credibility. Great. I just gave up saying that, didn't I? Blah blah blah. They couldn't afford to put it down. Well, I say credibility is better than nothing. It's as in it's got some international recognition with it, obviously the whole African Legion recognise it, as well as the Central Europe, which is just pretty much all of Europe here apart from these guys, as well as my bad, I just smashed myself off the desk, as well as no, they're the only two recognised for now because they're more right leaning and they don't like the leftists, or they've been more amiable to the Western Sahara, which hasn't really got a set up government yet, so who knows where they're leaning. Anyways, I'm just gonna move on from this point. It's meant to last like 2 seconds. Oh, what else was I gonna say? I was doing, I believe I forgot. Unification, war. That was it. I'm pretty sure. All right. Yes. Okay. So now moving on to. I'm gonna move on to America first. It's only 1 point. Essentially, the American puppet in Mexico has been undermined for a while. Lots of English, not English, sorry, American, Canadian, etc. Government officials have been put in place. It's pretty much it was an American puppet, but they're just solely relying on America for their economic aid. And finally, they put a referendum through. It was 60 to 40, yes to no, to unify. And now it's simply just the United States and North America. And they'll continue to spread their influence down here to these who aren't their puppets yet, these who are. So yeah, they pretty much rule the Americans. The Americans rule the Americas more than they did already now. Yeah. So now moving on to China, which what we've all been waiting for because it's probably an interesting thing happening right now. So essentially, the PRC they're struggling a little bit to hold this. Ooh, this needs to be highlighted. Not having a good day. As you can imagine, they're probably struggling to hold this a little bit. But what they do manage to do is sway some of these their side. The Shanxi warlords realise Manchuria is coming for them next. They don't join up. The XMS, I can't. No, I'm not saying their name as a country dragon Hoi. They realise, and yeah, so they all join up to the PRC side, right? But now also the yellow guys should get involved because they want obviously the Chinese. Oh, that should be green as well. Oh man, I'm fumbling this. Yeah. So they want the Chinese Republic back. They want a strong China on their side. Obviously, you know the Green are on their side. So the same like leanings. Obviously, they want like in their control, not just on a like same government. Because they're democratic, but like maybe a bit more interventionist than they like to admit. I'm gonna be so into. I don't know who's in this faction anymore. I just colour in Thailand a different colour every time. It's just. I'm just gonna put him in the yellow one because I think that makes sense in my logic. I put him in the yellow one because he's a more American, and they got left by the Americans to do their own thing, and they'd be more American leaning. Have I messed the border up here? Is the mic still working? Many questions right now. Yes, cool. No, that's fine. I thought Bitano got messed up. I haven't done anything with these guys. Oh no, I have. Anyway, should focus up. So yeah, at this point, the PRC managed to solidify the lines around Chongqing, as I say it. Anyways, yeah. So whichever this random warlord state was, is now gone because they had no time to solidify it. But Shibei somehow holds, just so I can pronounce it, it's better than nothing. And Chongqing area managed to hold off, but Arunachal Pradesh is claimed taken back, and they can't hold this front. It's just simply too long, and Yunnan starts falling. They've realised, hey, we've got to prioritise one front and rush the others down. So they just pretty much start a mass offensive into Manchuria, pushing them back to their original border, doing several, well, not armoured spearheads, because these British ramming militia are still in the 2000s. There's some tanks, but it's not like fully motorised. Because obviously they've been like economic tatters since the 40s, or 30s rather. So yeah, this mass offensive plays well, with Shaanxi doing a lot in helping them, now trapping a lot of men in the Mongolian border and further up, and doing one big spearhead across the Shandong area over to Beijing, which does fall, simply because they didn't have enough men to man the lines that quick. This gets Dunkirked, for lack of a better term, or just encompassed and snared and circled. Any of those would actually be better terms. I don't know why I didn't say that. And that's about as far as the PRC make it into Manchuria. But now with a front opening up here, who knows what could happen. Police saving mic still working. Okay, cool. It's been a bit temperamental recently. Okay, now moving over to how do you call this? Turkey. Turkey call their faction. I'll just colour them in like purple. They call their they don't call their faction in. They call their puppets in. Because the other faction members are sick of being dragged into pointless wars by Turkey. They declare war on this Kurdish government here, with no direct border to it. Well, I mean, they get their buddy Iran involved, because, I mean, let's be honest, these guys are all Turkish puppets apart from Arabia. I mean, these are physically Turkish puppets. These guys are pretty much put in place by Turkey, and these guys are just good friends of Turkey. As well as Afghanistan and Pakistan, too far away, they don't care. These guys have their own autonomy, and this is a puppet of Arabia, if you don't remember. So I've got a little puppet map, as you should maintain for not much like in return. So I'm going to say they're puppets. Regardless, the Kurdish rebels hold out relatively well for the circumstances, and this is a Turkish puppet as well. Sorry, maybe I need to put a puppet on my back. So they're fully ensnared. They do manage to hold out well for the circumstances. And they fall back to, let's say, whatever cities down here. I'm really not too knowledgeable about this area. Yeah, they fall back and hold the city. There you go, holding the city there, as denoted by the 2x2 square, as it's about to be. And at this point, the Kurds realize the Turks are oppressing us again, and they're not about to stand for it. They rise up in the Van area. Small uprising in Van, small uprising in Mosul, a bit more in the Azerbaijani claim to Persia here. I forgot what his area is called. But yeah, a few uprisings that look terrible, but we're not going to get into right now. Yeah. Goodbye, my friends.